Good evening. Tonight is Plato's Symposium. We're on a cycle of myths. And this is the myth of poverty, plenty, and love, and Aphrodite in Plato's Symposium. Now, there's a lot in that. And the biggest problem in studying mythology is that we've created the problem. You have to see how a myth is used by an author, because different authors use mythology in different ways. Mythology, therefore, is a challenge. It offers a wide range of uses. Therefore, if you want to study myth, the best thing to do is to go to the most profound set of thinkers to see how they use mythology, because then from that you can see from the ideal those that are less than that ideal, and it's easier to see the differences. Other part of the problem. Our way of approaching mythology is that people read a work and they identify something in a work that has gods and goddesses mythology. They cut it out of the particular section and then they separate it and they put it in a book like a cookbook with many other myths, and they call that collecting the mythology together, and then they get a way of bringing it about in terms of family origins and generations of the gods, and they put it together in a complete package, and that's called the study of mythology. Okay, that's stripping it from its context. That's independent of the author who's using it, and therefore you will never discover the purpose to which it's being used, because the purpose is in the context. Therefore, we want to just take a look at a few things before we go into Plato's Symposium. All right? Okay, first of all, every myth, there must be at least one divine figure. That means either a god or goddess, or a son of a god or a son of a goddess. And Achilles, of course, was the son of a goddess, Thetis. So therefore, in a myth, you have at least one figure of divine descent, either divine or divine descent. There must be a drama about the figure, a storyline, a drama. And the divine figure must be the personification of a set of qualities brought together into a unity. Serves a purpose, must have a purpose. The purpose can be found in the context in which the myth is embedded. Now, get to the purpose. I think it's obvious to everyone that love is a problem. Fair enough? Love is a problem. Love is a problem. We do not agree. We can see the power of love in all of nature, all conceptual birthing. Well, look here. I want to ask about that for a moment. Please come up for a few moments now with your own explanation for the origin of love in the universe, please. All right. Not for any particular species or purpose, but throughout all nature. And, if there are other planets, the whole universe. All right, okay, come up with a couple now. All right. Got a couple of them? I'm going to call upon you for a few minutes, in a few minutes. I want to hear an account, your account, of how did love ever get into the universe? It's totally unnecessary. in a mechanical universe. In a mechanical universe, there's no need for two things. Love, and worse than that, more complex than that, there's no need for the second most wondrous thing. Beauty. No need for it. Everything in nature that's engaged in this tremendous effort of procreation might do it by all kinds of mechanical ways, and appearances of colors and scents and sizes and shapes and everything else. There's no need for this at all. It's totally unnecessary. So we have two mysteries. Love and beauty. Can't leave one without the other. So now look here. How can you take something in the natural world and use it to understand something metaphysical? But actually, our practice, since you know about our other myths, we're going to do exactly the opposite. We're not going to go for that theory. It's a waste of time. We're going to go to the metaphysical and then use that to understand the everyday. You can't go up. You've got to go down. You can't go up. You can't go from the everyday and discover the metaphysical. You have to grasp the metaphysical and use it to understand the everyday. Now, the context. The context of this myth are these four ideas. Now, the whole and simple way of understanding Plato is that you never use your own definitions for these ideas, but only the author's. Never deviate. No interpretation. Because he's using these words in a totally different way. Let me give you an example. Ignorance is not ignorance in the everyday sense. It's, ran out of gas. Here you can see a beautiful picture here. And this person happens to have, as you can see in this beautiful diagram, a thing called a belief. Well, 3 out of 4. All right. Here you can see in this beautiful diagram a person with a belief. Now, they have a very interesting and special belief, which makes them ignorant. It is absolutely impossible for this person with this belief ever to use it to hit the truth. They'll never get the bullseye. That's ignorance. What's ignorance? Is when you have a belief, and that belief is of such a kind that that belief will block you and make it impossible for you to hit the mark. That is to say, the mark is truth. You can't possibly hit it with the belief you have. That's ignorance.